So today we have the Dave Murray Fender Stratocaster. This one's made in Mexico. He's got 3 Seymour Duncan mini humbuckers, 2 are hot rails, and then the standard humbucker. We got your volume in 2 tones, and I guess each tone is just for these 2 pickups only. There's no tone for this pickup. 5-way selector. We're going to check out the tones in this pickup, these 2 pickups, all 3, these 2 pickups, and then just the neck pickup. So since this is a Mexican-made Strat, I assume this is just a Floyd Rose 1000. It only goes down, so that's cool. I expected that, and you can see it from the body. Just a top-mounted Floyd. The downside to that is you can't entirely like lower the action very well, and I didn't realize until I had it and was trying to set it up. And I noticed that if I lowered this thing a little bit more, it's going to start buzzing on these higher frets. It's kind of getting to that threshold already. Problem with that for me is it's still not at an action that's that comfortable for me. It's passable, like I can play it, but I'm not in love with the action right now, and I have no choice on it. It's almost like this thing needs a fret level, or this is just how it is. I've never owned a Fender, so I don't know what their fretwork is like or anything. Luckily, the frets aren't sharp. Like, I don't feel cut. They feel okay. There's no fret sprout, in my opinion. Doesn't feel like there's any fret sprout. I conditioned the fretboard because I just felt I needed to. It's kind of cool having a locking nut, especially, you know, when you have a top-mounted Floyd Rose. It's kind of a requirement. But it is damn near impossible to adjust the truss rod, which I obviously had to do because I put 10 to 52s on this guitar. I just wanted to. I had to put it like the long way and have the little piece stick out and then grab the little piece with pliers to adjust the truss rod, just because I had no other way to get past the nut into the truss rod adjuster. So I don't know if that's the best way to do it. Maybe you're supposed to take the nut off. I don't know. It didn't make any sense to me. So another reason why I like that Ernie Ball Music Man put their truss rod adjustment right here, because it just makes this a pain. Definitely. This is my first time dealing with these vintage style tuners where you have to put the string in and then wind it up. You have to cut it accordingly while still having some slack to get tension, and I'm horrible at it, so I hate these tuners. I absolutely hate these tuners. I'm glad there's a locking nut so they don't have to keep my guitar in tune, but I hate these. I didn't know entirely what to expect on this because it's just completely left field for the stuff that I buy. I completely didn't realize that this thing actually has 21 frets. I just assumed it had 22 when I was playing it. Luckily, at the store, I was kind of playing around this area. But I was like, oh wow, that's even worse than 22 frets. Still got that block feel to it with the neck joint. You know, it's a Fender Strat, like I can't be shocked on that. But for real though, I'm having trouble playing this thing. It's not very comfortable to play, especially with, higher gauge strings. I can maneuver around it, but I'm not comfortable playing it. I kind of feel like I have to fight the instrument. I don't think that's something that people look for in an instrument. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm definitely not one of them. I want to be comfortable playing. That way, I can play whatever I want to play and not have to feel stressed trying to do it. This thing is pretty hard to play, in my opinion, compared to all my other guitars that I have. In fact, I think the Les Pauls that I've been buying and trying out actually are easier to play, oddly enough. So even with the Les Paul single cut frets over here, like it feels actually more comfortable to play than this Strat right now. Very ironic because Eddie Van Halen wanted the Les Paul sound, but wanted to have the feel of a Strat so he could shred up a Storm. So it worked for him. But so far for me, I think the Jackson Dinky blows this thing out of the water. Just the standard Jackson Dinky that's, either made in Mexico or made in Japan. So out of a lot of Fenders that I've tried, I do like this guitar, but I'm not necessarily sure if this is actually a keeper just because it's not very fun to play. Like, it is, but it's hard to play it, so it kind of makes me want to play my other stuff. I have way better guitars, so I almost feel no reason to play this thing. And if I want the Seymour Duncan sound, at least I have it in a Jackson Soloist. So I may not keep this thing. So I guess if I had to rate it, like from 10 being the highest, I guess maybe a 6 in my opinion. That doesn't mean that this guitar is a 6. Just for what I want to do, it's not entirely the best instrument for me. Which I kind of knew that going into it, but I thought I'd at least try it.